Easy there, boy. And
Radiant.
what's good? How you doing? How's your day? It's your boy Odia here again, week 5 of the Get Exposed podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about failure, the stepsister of success. I mean, literally it is, because if you didn't fail at something, you can't succeed at something. And if you're scared of failure, that means you're scared of success, which is actually a thing. But today I'm going to be telling you stories of how I failed in every single thing that I am now somewhat good at. And if I didn't fail back then, or if I'm not failing now, I won't be good, or I wasn't going to be good if I didn't fail. Another shout out to you. Notice your failures, because if you failed at something, that means you tried. That means you already took that step, or not necessarily. When you fail in life, that means you just failed. But if you don't look at your failure and examine it and see how you can pass that, imagine it's an exam. If you don't see how you can pass that exam after failing it, then you're just going to keep on failing over and over again. And failure doesn't do you good if you don't convert it into success, if you don't convert it into winning. So yeah, let's dive right into the episode. Welcome. How was your day? What's today? Sunday, November 27th, and I think everyone is like clubbing because it's the World Cup. Morocco beat Belgium 2-0, I think, and everyone's going crazy about that. Same, I'm also going crazy. Like, this World Cup has been so unpredictable, just like my life. I'm joking. I am not joking, actually. But yeah, and I'm just here. I'm about to go meet my friend for dinner after shooting this podcast and just, catch up with him. There's guests there. I feel it's going to be awkward for me because I'm not comfortable around guests, especially when I've never met them. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. But let's get right into it. What should I start with? My failure in life or my failure in my career? I wish you could pick which I start with, but let me start with failure in life, and I'll kind of connect it to my career because I feel it connects. And I'll tell you why. Where have I failed in life? If I trying to remember points in my life where I failed, I'm not gonna stop listing them. But I'll say that sometimes I haven't been or acted in the best way. I haven't acted like myself. Maybe anger took over me. Maybe someone said something and I overreacted. I remember in junior secondary school, that's junior high school. If you listen to episode 1, you know what I'm talking about. There was this guy who was always taunting me. Elvis was always taunting me in class, and I was being myself. I was always calm, avoiding conflicts, cause I could get expelled. If you fight in high school back then, you could get expelled. So I was respecting myself, respecting my family, and this guy was always taunting me, always poking my emotions and my feelings, and just playing around with me to see if he could break me. And he did this for everyone, and everyone would like clash at him. But then he really dialed in on me because I did not give him a reaction. When he did it for other people, they'll get pissed, they'll insult him, and he'll laugh, and that's it. But me, I didn't even mind. I acted like he wasn't there. So I think it even gave him more drive and motivation to break me. And there was on this particular day, it rained, and the day was pretty much one of those days where everything annoys you. Rain is falling, you're late for class, you miss lunch, like things are just going out of order for you, and you're like not in the right headspace. And then this Elvis guy comes around and starts to like mess with me, and I just snap. When I mean I snap, I just black out. I don't black out as in I faint, but I black out as I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I remember I carried him up and I just flung him like a towel, like I just flung him as hard and fast as I could. Not breaking walls and all that stuff, but I really, really flung him around. Like I lifted him up and I was carrying around and I was flung him. And after that, all of that, people told me that, yo, say what the, I was like, did I really do that? And after some time, I was kind of ashamed of myself. Not because I flung him and all that stuff. I was ashamed of myself that I stopped being me for a few seconds or a minute. and that could have cost me my whole life. Not life in like life, but I could have gotten expelled, or they could have called my parents, and my parents would be disappointed in me. I could have Bad things could have happened. Like if we're imagining the worst case scenario, I would have been expelled. And to think that just because I lost my cool for a minute, every single thing, all the times I kept my cool didn't matter. It is the time where you lose your cool, or is that 1 minute or 1 second or one text or one picture you take or one thing that you do that like breaks every single thing you've been doing. And that for me is the scariest part of failure or success. Depends on how you look at it. And when I thought about that, it really scared me. And since that day, I became even more scared of not being myself, because let's say you're being yourself for 99 days out of 100 days. And then the one day you're not yourself, everything ends. That whole 99 days you've been being yourself wouldn't matter. Or would it? Now that's the question I'm always asking myself and giving myself new answers to. Like, if does it make me who I am if I mess up one day when I've not been messing up for 99 days? You feel me? Because that's how it is in relationships, in friendships. We've been good, for 99 days out of 100, and the one day I say something, the one day I do something that triggers you, or the one day that I just mess up, that's the end of the relationship just because of that one day. Like, you couldn't use those other 99 days to tell yourself that, yo, he's not a bad person, or that wasn't him. Can't you just relax and think about it? Because if you really think about it, that's not who I am. If I messed up one day and I said something out of pocket, or I did something out of pocket, that's not me. Because in 99 days out of 100, I've been being myself, and you like that. And then one day I do something bad, you tell me that's the real me. You tell people, oh, that's the real him. And to me that's very funny, because what the hell? That's not the real me. Obviously, I cannot fake being someone else I'm not for 100 days. Just because I mess up one day, that doesn't make that version of myself the real one. That's just like a stressed, out of control, or something triggered something me. Like, everyone has that other side. It's not like your other side is your real side. It's just the other side, because we take a lot of shit from people, from society, from the weather, from things we can't control. We take a lot of shit, and we cannot allow that affect who we really are. So we have to keep it somewhere, and that somewhere is the other side, is the other person that one day it comes out, and then people say that's the real us, that's the real me. Like, it's not, if you really think about it. And maybe you and me should start viewing people based on who they really are, because of how they are when they are not fucking up, or when they're not doing something bad, or when they're not messing up. That's them being themselves. On a normal day, everyone has a bad day, every single person. Like, what just happened recently with Balenciaga releasing that campaign, the whole world is going to judge Balenciaga for being a bad brand, or a shitty brand, or a brand that doesn't care. And they're going to basically put names over Balenciaga now, because they did this one thing. But no one and everyone is currently forgetting all the amazing things you've been doing all these years. And because of this one thing that they did, it cancels them completely. And I feel people need to relax on this cancel culture kind of thing. They need to kind of take a step back and view it like, is this really this person? Like, I asked one of my lawyer friends, if someone gets blamed for a crime he did not commit, or how do you guys know he committed a crime? Basically, how are you sure the person that told him he committed a crime isn't lying? They check, because a criminal or someone that did something bad probably didn't do it for the first time. So that's why they go and gather more evidence of that person, because there's always going to be evidence. Because if that person is truly a criminal, he's going to have done it multiple times. A serial killer is not a serial killer if he just killed one person, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying a serial killer is good in any way, or killing one person doesn't make you a criminal. But do you get it? When you steal, you're not a thief, but you're a thief because you steal. Do you get it? Because it's kind of easy and hard to understand. Like, something you do every day, that's what makes you who you are. Something you do on one day does not make you who you are. it's just an event that change you on that certain day or that certain minute, because you can literally change your life in 1 minute. Like I said, if, for example, a teacher was there when I flung Elvis, I could have gotten expelled from the school, and that everyone would view me as a violent guy, as a guy that fights. My parents from that day will have viewed me as a violent guy. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that don't judge people on that one day where they lose it, or one day they're bad, or one day they're the villain, because everyone has that day that they failed to be themselves, or they failed to do what they normally do, or they failed to have or accomplish a routine that they normally do on a normal day. You feel me? Everyone is going to have that day. Everyone is always going to fail at being themselves, including you, including me. I failed multiple times at being myself. The consequences are too high nowadays for failing, for failure in general. The consequences are way too high. Like cancel culture, I feel cancel culture is just people just project. When you have the power to make or break someone, people choose to break because they can break. Let me use hunting to explain this. Why do people hunt? They don't need to hunt. They want to hunt because it's an option they have. If they told you that animals couldn't die no matter what you did, no matter how many bullets they take, they'll never die. They just stand up and keep on walking, or keep on doing what you're doing, or maybe even attack you since they can't die. People will never hunt again. There'll be way less hunters. It's the fact that human beings can destroy or take life or something that they do it. They don't need to do it. It is different than when an animal attacks you and you have to kill it. That's cool because you needed to, you had to do it. But then when people have the power to do something, to take life, to take someone's career, to break something, literally, they do it just because they have the power to. Like, imagine instead of canceling a celebrity or a brand or something like that, we actually find out if that brand or person is really like that, if that person really thinks that way, if that person really hates that thing, if that person or celebrity really supports that thing they got cancelled for. If we find out that they really do, because like I said, it's going to show. If someone is this way, it's not going to be the first time they do it. It's going to be something that has happened over time if you check down the line. That's how it is. Like your favorite artist, you didn't listen to one song of his. You have been listening to his songs for years. That's why he's your favorite artist. Like, you can just listen to an artist one time, one song, and it becomes your favorite artist. So we should find out if they are really like this. And then if they're like that, okay, cool. They get cancelled because we do not like people who are like this, who are actually like this in society. Like, and to have such an influence over people, because then you make more people like that. That's the reason they get cancelled, right? Because they're going to influence people to do hate speech and all these things they get cancelled for. What if we took them, or someone took them and educated them on something they said or something they did, if it was the first time they did it, or something they just did or said? We educate the celebrity or the brand or that person that has influence and power, and that person recognizes his or her mistake and corrects it, and then comes to re-educate the same people that he told his false beliefs to, or he told the wrong things to. I feel that's going to be way more impactful, way more positive, way more powerful than just canceling the person from head to toe and like basically removing them from society and killing their careers and killing them. Like, because a lot goes on when you cancel a person. He loses all his sponsorship, loses everything. That person has nothing, like, and you just keep on living your life like nothing happened, where someone lost everything because he made a mistake or said something or did something that you didn't like. If someone does something you don't like, do you just remove them? Do you just, let me use the word kill, because that's how it feels. Do you just kill them? No, you re-educate them so they don't do that again. And if they keep on doing it, if they're not sorry, then you can now I can use the word kill. Then you can get rid of that person. Like, someone steps on your foot, you be like, hey, you stepped on my foot. The person either says sorry or he doesn't care based on the person's attitude after making that mistake. That what makes you take action. So we should wait for the action people take after they failed to judge them. And number one, we're not even supposed to be judging anyone in the first place, but everyone judges nowadays. So this judgment that we're giving on a daily basis to everyone and anyone Let's wait till they take action after their mistakes before we can fully judge them. And now reverse the rule. Imagine that's how people treated you after you failed. Because you've probably failed at a lot of things in your life. No one knows apart from you. But you know that you failed in a lot of things in life. Now imagine after your failure, you lost the ability or chance to ever do that thing again, or to ever try something again, or to ever, let me put it in a real scenario. You cheated on your partner. That means you failed at being a good partner, right? Or a good boyfriend or a good girlfriend. What if everyone that's ever cheated loses the ability to ever date again? Or what if, like, if you cheated, it becomes like a tattoo on your skin, and whoever is with you can see that you're a cheater? You feel me? Like, what if that's what you're known for now? What if that's your brand now in life, that this person is a cheater, and everyone sees cheater as a scum, as a bad person, as a person who deserves nothing but shit? You know, a cheater is someone negative completely. I'm not saying cheating is good and cheating should just be looked at as a normal thing. But what is the person's action? What if people waited for your action after cheating? Are you sorry? Are you not sorry? Because that changes everything. Because it could be anyone. It could have been the other person in the relationship that cheated. There's different circumstances and reasons to get cheated on or to cheat. And the fact that it happens on a daily basis means it's a common mistake nowadays to cheat. But it depends on that person that cheated, actions after cheating, that they should be judged on. Because if the person is sorry and is willing to change and takes actions to change and explains to you why it happened, cool. Now you know. Now you know this person is not entirely a bad person, or the person isn't even a bad person. He just did something bad. And most of the time, most people that do bad things, or most people that we call bad people now, are just people who did something bad. What if you had the chance to right your wrongs, but no one lets you because that's your branding permanently? So this is a call out to you that you should wait for the action someone takes after making a mistake, whether in life, whether in career, before you judge that person. That's just I think that's a general take on both cancel culture, on treating people after they've failed at something, after they've made a mistake, and whatever else I talked about. So today, I'm feeling comfortable. As you can see, I'm wearing a Midnight Cloud Suit by Eternal. I really like this piece. It is not something I have multiple, I don't have multiple cloud suits. This is like the only lounge wear that I've been rocking for a few months, and every time I wear it, I don't feel like I'm over wearing it, because there's some stuff like that you can't wear more than 3 times or 4 times. It starts to feel repetitive. But this, for me, like, it works. Maybe it's because it's black and it's very comfy, and I can wear it to cafes. I can wear it to visit a friend at their house. I can wear it to somewhere I'm doing something chill, like somewhere I'm going to be sitting on the sofa. So it's just going to be like, it's just plush. It's very comfortable. It's by Eternal, the local brand based in Dubai. And yeah, like I said, I copped it a few months ago, and it doesn't feel old. It doesn't feel like I'm saying too much of it and stuff like that. In case you guys wanted to know, it has the open chest here. I like it because then it opens you to the world of accessories. And I just have this simple chain going on, Helix chain. And what shoes will I wear it with? Honestly, I can wear it with boots or sneakers, but I'd rather wear it with boots because I don't have sneakers that will go with it for now. I do have a black Air Force, but I just don't feel Air Forces with this will look so elegant, because this makes me feel elegant. Maybe you can wear it with slides. You can definitely wear it with slides, like good slides or sandals, stuff like that, not Nike slides, like whatever you're wearing with this should look kind of, I don't know how to say it, not basic. You feel me? Like, you can wear basic footwear with this, just so it completely look, depending on where you're going. If you're going to your friend's house, like, who cares? Wear whatever. But you're going somewhere, like, wear something that's also comfortable, footwear that's also comfortable, but not basic. That's my pro tip, or whatever you can call it. Obviously, it goes with a cap. I've worn it with a cap once, a Givenchy cap, and it looked good. And yeah, that's about the fashion segment. I'm going to drop links in the bio to this brand's Instagram and their website if you want to check it out. Another thing I want to talk about is failure is the stepsis to success. How I'll say, obviously, that is right already if you're human. That whatever you're good at now, you were once bad at. Like no matter what, if you're a good chef now, you were not creating the best dishes ever. At the point, you were cooking bad. Even if you're not cooking bad, you weren't cooking as good as you're cooking now. So everyone went through that version of themselves that failed at something that they're good at now. Even for me, as a fashion model, how did I start as a fashion model? You know, I used to go to the malls, to Dubai Mall, to Mall of Emirates, to Marina Mall. I used to go to all these malls and I used to go to all these fashion brands and brands in general in the malls. And I'll ask for their manager and they thought it was something serious. And I'll just tell them, yo, I'm a fashion model. You should book me for your shoots. Here's my number. And they'll just take it out of courtesy, you know? And I'll never hear anything back from them. And the one time I got lucky, I met the creative director of a brand in the store and they actually took my contact and messaged me and I came for a fitting, but that was the end of it. Closet case. I think, yeah, that was closet case. Like I had to do things like this. The agency I am with right now, MMG, I applied to them 2 years ago and I got rejected. You know, like I looked for other agencies, international model agencies 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and I got rejected by every single one. Literally, I would take my pictures, I'll send it. I did everything I could to try to become a, actual professional signed fashion model. And everything was failing, But does that mean I stopped? Does that mean I just gave up and said this isn't for me? No, because number one, I know this is for me because I got these signs. I told you about how I got scouted at Soul DXP by GQ, how someone that owns a brand told me to come shoot for them, and I'm getting small shoots here and there without even trying. So that means I just need to up my game, and upping your game is getting signed with an agency, get someone to represent you, and having your portfolio built. So now I had to figure out why I was failing, why I wasn't good. That's when I discovered that talent is never enough. Whatever you're doing, whatever you want to do, just know that whatever you have with you right now, like as you are, is never enough. Whether it's money you have, whether it's talent you have, whether it's connections you have, anything you have at your disposal already when you want to do something is never enough. So now that I have talent, as in I have the facilities to become a fashion model, what next? What don't I have? What do I need to add to my repertoire? What do I need to add to myself to actually become a professional fashion model? What do you need to add to yourself apart from what you have? Something you don't have. What do you need to add to you that can actually get you to where you want to go? That's how you transition from being a failure or failing at something to succeeding in something. So now I know that I need to add these other things to myself to become a fashion model. I need to have a portfolio. I need to meet the right people at the right time in the right place. I need to put myself in positions to win. I need to put myself in positions to be seen by people who can help me kickstart a career. So I started posting on Instagram. I started reaching out to photographers to shoot with. Even if I was still getting rejected, if you do the math, you DM 20 photographers, 2 will reply, 1 will actually shoot with you. But from that one, you get some pictures, you post it. Now, out of those 20 new photographers you mentioned again, another photographer will like that shoot you did, and then they'll book you for a shoot, a test shoot, to build your portfolio. Like that. So slowly, I was building my portfolio. I borrow a professional camera from my friends. We go to the beach. I wear something cool. If that day I wanted to shoot fitness, something, like fitness was the mood board, but you get it. And then we go shoot it at the beach, just me and my friend. And then add that to the book on Instagram. It's a look good, obviously. We're using a camera, it's intentional, we know what we want to get. So slowly, I started building a book on being a fashion model, tried again to apply to the agencies, got rejected again. Does that mean I'll stop? No. Now it means that my portfolio isn't really doing it. So what do I need to focus on now? I noticed that I didn't have Polaroids. Polaroids are just like simple pictures of you. No makeup, no dressing up, just you. Literally. Like very plain, white wall, fitted clothes. Like that's a Polaroid. And I found out that I needed to get these Polaroids of myself so agencies can see the raw me. And that was the most difficult part. Getting good Polaroids is so hard, because it's very hard to get how you truly look, like the real you on camera that looks good, without retouching, without makeup, without dressing up without having a cool location, just a white wall, plain clothes, plain you. That's it. It's so hard to get a good picture like that. But then now I'm knowing the other things that I don't have, and I'm gathering them up and I'm getting them ticked one by one. And from that, you have a good photographer who actually sees you out of nowhere and then just calls you to do a test shoot. Now you have like a high level picture or pictures in your book, in your portfolio. So ask yourself, what can I add to myself now that I don't have already? Because if you can succeed already with what you have, that means what you have is not enough. That means the easiest word to remember is just say talent is never enough. If it's money you have, be like money is never enough. If it's connections you have, say connections is never enough. I need to add everything. Everything needs to come full circle so I can turn my failure into success. And the thing is that when you're starting something new, when you're doing something new, or when you even want to just go to the next level, maybe you're doing something already, but you want to take it to the next level. You want to take it up a notch. You want to make it professional. You want to make it good. You want to do it for a lifetime. You want people to say that you're good at it. That means you do not have what you need to be good at it or to be successful. So your job now is to write. If you're a person that writes down, I never write down anything. I swear to God. Only write down. Even when I write down stuff, I never read it again. Like once I write it, like I can't remember when last I. Sometimes I have actually. Sometimes I've gone back to my notes and read what I wrote, but it's very very unlikely that I write down stuff. Only if it's very important, like my is it vision board or manifestations, what you want in your life, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I write it because that's something I repeat to myself every single day, every single night before I sleep and after I wake up, just so I can dream about it and just use that to start the day off with motivation, or not even motivation, just to keep me in check. Like also, this is what you want. Okay, what can you do to get there? So write it down. The things that you're lacking already, or the things that you don't have, and now start building steps and formulas and ways to get those things, because you can use what you have already to get these other things. That's the trick. So, for example, let's say you have the talent to be a footballer, but you don't have the money, but you don't have connections, but you don't have, what else did I mention? Money, talent, connections. Yeah, I think those are the three most important things. Yeah. If I'm missing something else, just know that other something else is there. So you have the talent, but you don't have the money, you don't have the connections. What can you do? You can show your talents, so you find people that have connections, or you get connections, which will eventually get you money, And I don't mean having money as in get money is the goal. Money is not the goal. The goal is being a footballer. Maybe you need to pay academy fees. Maybe you need to get a soccer boot. You don't have money to get these things. That's the kind of money I'm talking about. Not money as per that's the goal for you to get money. No, like, do you need money to become successful? Ask yourself that question. Yes or no? Yes. Do I have money? Yes or no? Ask yourself questions like this. Do I need connections to be successful in this thing I want to do? Yes or no? Ask yourself and see what you have and what you don't have. But anything you have will get you those other things you don't have. And then when you have everything, or at least 90% of everything, then that will eventually lead you to success, which is the ultimate goal in whatever you're doing, in life, in career, anything. How do I become a better boyfriend? What do I have? I have good looks. What do you need to be a better boyfriend? Tell me in the comment section. But let's say it's good looks, loyalty, humor, confidence, style. Let's just mention these. And expression of love. Let's just say this. Let's say you have good looks. Let's say you have style. Let's say you have humor. Now I don't have loyalty because you belong to the streets. And I don't have confidence because all of my style and my good looks are just covering the real me. Let's imagine that. So now you know what you don't have. So now you can start to take steps to build your confidence and to make you a more loyal person. Maybe that's some self-work you need to do. Maybe you need to actually sit down one day with no distractions and face the real you, face yourself and ask yourself, why can't I be loyal? Why can't I stick to one person at a time? Like, do I want to be cheated on? No. So why am I cheating? Ask yourself these questions and you come up with the answers. And if it's because you're not ready for a relationship, then simply do not be in a relationship, Confidence wise, ask yourself, why am I not confident? Is it because I think some way of myself or someone probably damaged me in my past? Face all these problems you have. And by the time you have all of the answers to your questions, because it's not hard, you just need to intentionally find them and intentionally try to solve them. And how to solve them is very easy. But when you don't know you have a problem, that is the biggest problem. You've watched all these movies where maybe the bad guy puts the good guy in kind of like a dream to make him see everything is good, but in reality he's actually dying or something like that. That is scarier than when you're actually dying and you can see you're dying and you can feel the pain, because now you're going to struggle to leave, you're going to struggle to get out of that place. But then if what you're saying isn't a problem, if all you're seeing is clouds and beautiful skies and beautiful flowers, but in reality it's like everything is on fire, that's more scary. So the most important step to go from being a failure to success, to solving whatever problem you have, is identifying the problem, is knowing that you have a problem. Like when you mess up and you can actually say you messed up, like kudos, that's a big step, because some people mess up and they do something bad and they don't even think it's bad and they don't even know it's bad. That's scary. If someone slaps you and thinks it's a normal thing, like that's more scary than someone that slaps you and knows that he did something wrong. You feel me? Like knowing you did something wrong or knowing you messed up, knowing you made a mistake is way more better than not knowing that you're even making a mistake or you're even failing. When you know you're failing, that means you know you're failing. That means you need to stop failing. So you need to identify all these problems that you have and take care of them one by one. Like I said, the answers are easy. The hard part is knowing if you have a problem or not. The moment you know you have a problem, it's very easy. There's so much resources out there. There's Google, there's YouTube, there's friends, there's family, there's therapists. There's so many resources out there for each of your problems. So you just need to look at what you have and what you don't have and what you want to get and arrange it so you can use what you have to get what you don't have, so you have the complete package to get you to where you want to go. That's how I'll say I got signed as a model. I got booked for some amazing campaigns, met some amazing people in the industry. It's because I just knew what I had. I knew I had the talent to be a model, because some people in the industry have already told me that I'm good at this, that I have the look, so that wasn't the problem. So what don't I have now? I don't know anybody. I don't have a good book. I don't have an agency. So how can I get an agency? How can I get a good book? How can I meet the right people? Once I solve these problems, it ultimately lead me to being a successful fashion model, and I'm still in the process. Like, I'm not there yet. I'm not out Mason or Naomi or someone yet, but compared to when I started modeling to now, it's a very big difference, So yeah, and now I'm gonna play a game. Have you ever? Brought to me by you, the fans of the podcast. If you want to send me questions, for the next game or anything, the games I usually play is that would you rather or never have I ever or stuff like that. Send me the name of the game and send me the question you want to ask me. Is in the link in the bio. You can send me anonymous questions or comments or whatever you want to send anonymously to me. It's actually funny to read. I think one day I'm going to do an episode where I'm just reading all the anonymous messages I've gotten. It's actually funny. But yeah, that's that. So now let's start the game. Have you ever eaten a bug? Yes, I have eaten a bug, an edible bug. In Nigeria, it's called shinge. I don't know what it's called in English, but I've tried it. I didn't like it though, but I've tried it. I've tried eating a bug. Peed in your pants? Definitely. When I was younger, that was like my trademark. I'm joking. But yeah, I've peed in my pants when I was younger. Definitely. Oh, have I eaten something that's gone stale or moldy? I hope not. I won't say something that is stale or moldy and eat it. But maybe I have, but I really hope not, I've ever been lost. Yeah, like on a daily basis. Like, what am I doing here? What am I doing with my life? I'm joking, but yeah, I've physically been lost and mentally and spiritually and everything. I've been lost. And I'm still finding myself. I'm still finding, everything. I like the journey. I like the process. But I think I know my final destination. But how to get there, maybe I've been lost sometimes, And I've been lost, like, as per location of somewhere. Yes, definitely. farted and said it wasn't you? I have. I'm not going to talk about that. Scared yourself. Yes, I have scared myself. I think it was in different ways. I've just scared myself in different ways. I don't know, like maybe there was a mirror in the room I didn't know there was a mirror in, and I looked at it. You know, like when it's dark and your window is like a mirror, you can see yourself there, and you just like noticing that another body is there, but it's not you. So you kind of get scared, and then you look at it, and then you see yourself, and you're like, oh, okay, stuff like that. But I know I've scared myself in like funny ways. I can't really remember scenarios. Have I ever broken a bone? Bro, did you listen to episode 3? Yes, I have broken a bone. My shin. That's why I'm not playing basketball anymore, by the way. So yeah, I've broken a bone. Interesting and not funny, and funny at the same time. Have I ever fallen asleep in class? A lot. Oh my days. A lot. Not in Dubai though. Like classes in Dubai were like very chilling, but in Nigeria, oh my god. Oh my god. And the funny thing is that when you're sleeping in class in Nigeria, they tell you to stand up so the whole class can see that they know you're sleeping. But it wasn't even embarrassing at the point. It was on every day there was a different person, you know. Everyone caught that. Like everyone used to fall asleep in class. Hurt someone on purpose. Have I ever hurt someone on purpose? No. Has someone gotten hurt by something I did? Yes. Did I want? Is that how? Was that my goal? Was that my vision on an action I did? Something I did? Did I plan for it to hurt them? No, but it did. And sometimes, some things you do end up hurting others. I think that's gonna be my next topic after this game. So let me take 2 more questions and then we'll get right into it. Got sent home from school. Ahaha. I told you guys there's a story in high school on how I missed prom. Yeah, so that is the story. I have gotten sent home from school, but I didn't get sent home. I got stopped from going home instead, you know, as a punishment. But it was basically almost the same thing. So yeah, I have peed in a bush. Yes, I have peed in a bush. I come from Nigeria. What are you talking about? But yeah, now the next topic I'm going to talk about is failing when based on the fact of hurting someone or losing someone, or you know, something you did that in someone else's eye you failed, but in your eye you did not fail, or you didn't plan to fail, but to someone else you failed. It can be in various scenarios. Like in school when we're young, we get a B, but to our parents we failed because we didn't get an A, but to us we did really good. And to someone else that got to C, we did really good. And it can be that you got a B, your parents are happy, but you're angry at yourself because you got an A. But there's different ways where failure is based on perspective. And let me just touch ground on that. Like there's been times where I've messed up as a friend. You know, I did something I was not supposed to do. I've acted a certain way I wasn't supposed to act according to them, because me personally I didn't notice it. But then when they told me that, yo, Ose, I don't like it when you blah 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 blah, I'm like, oh damn, that's wrong, that's bad. But when I was doing it, I didn't really see it as something, you know, I didn't see it as anything. But when they tell me, or when they, you know, confront me, which is literally almost when it's too late, because then they're telling me because this is the reason I'm not with you anymore, or imagine it as a breakup. This is the reason why I'm breaking up with you, and they tell you, and then they break up, and then you realize that when it's too late, basically. So yeah, there's different scenarios like this. And what should you do? Like, what can I do? You're telling me when it's literally too late. You're confronting me with the things you're supposed to communicate about when I'm doing it, or immediately after I did it, when it has piled up. Because like I said, when you're failing at something, when you're making a mistake, it's not going to be the first time you're doing it, you know. Oh, this is not how I said it. When someone does something bad, before you call someone a bad person, notice it. That person probably didn't do it for the first time. So all these actions I'm doing that is wronging my friend, or someone I care about, or someone we have a relationship with, or I have a relationship with, is probably not the first time I'm doing it. So I've done it multiple times, and every single time I did it, they're kind of like tolerating it. This is something I talked about in episode 4 on friendships. They're kind of tolerating it, and then when it's too full, when the cup is too full, like they just rain down on you. Like they tell you all the wrong things you've been doing, and at that point, it's too late to go back. It's too late to apologize. It's too late to be a better person, you know? So as a friend, you should not let it get to that point. If you're listening to this, do not wait till your friend fucks up 10 times or make a mistake 10 times before you tell them, because by then the tension, everything is going to be too much for even you to look over, you know? So as you're doing it, tell them. Now, it's a problem if they keep on doing it after you've told them. But if you tell them and they stop doing it or they change, that's good because they would not intentionally want to hurt you or intentionally want to lose you as a friend or a partner, whatever relationship you're in. If they really don't care about you, then after you tell them, they won't care. They will just keep on doing it, because they'll be like, well, that's me, that's who I am, stuff like that. But if it's stuff they can change that, make your relationship better, they will change. So don't wait for it till it piles up. That's another thing you should take out of this. So yeah, like what do you do when you're on the receiving end of that? It's very sad because now that I've told you all these things, all these mistakes you have been making, all these ways you have failed at being a good friend and all of that stuff, or failed at being a good partner, they're telling you at the end of the relationship. Most of the time, they tell you at the end of the relationship. And then you're going to make all these changes and you're going to become a better person, and you're not going to be there to experience you as a changed man or woman or whatever. They're not going to experience you correcting all the mistakes you made with them, because then you're going to correct all these mistakes and you're not going to fail in all these things again because they told you. But then they leave your life, and then I won't say the next person, but now you are a changed person and they won't get to experience that. So for me, on the receiving end, when I've messed up, when I've done something bad and it ends up like that, I kind of feel very bad. Not because of what I did, because I know deep down it was not my intention to hurt you or to make that mistake or to be a bad person. It's not my intention, obviously. I didn't wake up one day and just choose violence. Like today, I want to piss off, so and so. I want to make them angry. I want to make them sad. Like, it's never my intentions, but probably the things I did or said or the way I did it or the way I said it hurts them or makes them feel bad or, does something negative. And it's not my intention. So I don't feel bad as a person on myself. I never blame myself. But I just feel bad because, okay, now I've learned from this. I've learned from this mistake. I've learned from this failure. But they can't see the results of that. They won't be able to see the result of that because they probably ended the relationship with me, because now they think this is who I am. They forget all the good times we had in the whole relationship in general. And they just remember this touch point, that like red dots in the relationship. They're like, oh, say it's this. They kind of generalize it. You probably know what I'm talking about. It has happened to you, obviously. That's happened to almost everyone and all of us who have been judged on certain things that we've done that we didn't even know we were doing. It wasn't our intentions to do this, but we ended up doing it no matter how you want to look at it. And if you think that everything you've been doing has been right, then there's something wrong with you. I'm be honest with you. Like, you've obviously made a mistake. Even that person that told you you're making a mistake has probably made a mistake, but maybe you didn't care much about it and they do care about it. People have different personalities. So knowing that you could be wrong, knowing that you could do something bad, that you can make a mistake, is definitely a character trait that you should develop. You should know that you don't have to be right all the time. You can be wrong. Like when I'm arguing with my friends, we're arguing over a serious, something not too serious, but we're arguing. And I have a point and they have a point. When we're like clashing on whose point is right, and they say something that is actually correct, that makes them right and makes me wrong, I accept it. I'll be like, oh damn, you're actually right. Like, ask all my friends. Like, literally, I do not try to win every argument or every conversation or make my opinion the number one. If they say something that is right, something that makes me wrong, I accept it. And I feel all of us should be able to accept that we can be wrong. When you don't think you can be wrong and always try to be right, you're never gonna learn, you're never gonna grow, you're gonna push people away. There's so much negative results that come from that. So learning that you could be wrong in a situation, in a topic, in a relationship, and accepting that is a very good trait. And to the people out there that have this trait, that actually accept it when they're wrong, I'm clapping for you, like, good job. It's not easy because it takes you to remove your ego, to remove your pride, to be able to do that. Most people can't do that because of their pride and their egos. They cannot accept to be wrong. But the moment you can accept to be wrong, then you're never gonna fail, because failure is when you're finite, like you have an end, you're permanent. When you're not permanent, when you're always moving, when you're always growing, when you're always learning, you're never gonna fail, because failure is when you stop. And stop can be in different reasons. Stopping as in you stop learning, you stopped accepting new ideas, accepting new things. You stopped growing. You stopped. The moment you stop, that's the moment you fail, basically. So the more you keep on learning, the more you keep on accepting you can be wrong, and seeing people's perspective and listening and thinking. That's a very like good step. Like kudos. Like I said, I'm clapping for you. But yeah, there's scenarios like this, where to other people were bad people, but to us, we don't even see it or we didn't notice it until it's too late. That also means that this also tells you that you can't be with everyone, you can't please everyone, because even if you're doing something that is actually right, that's actually correct, you're not failing, you're not making a mistake. To someone, it might not be correct, or it might be you failing based on the perspective. But to you, you're not failing. That's why you can't please everyone, and there's people that are meant to be with you and people that are not meant to be with you. If you're with someone like that, it's cool. Like, no bad feelings. That means we are not compatible. It's very simple. Like, next, like, we're not compatible with each other, because if my success is your failure, then sorry. Like, if what I feel is right and is actually right, if you think about it, is actually right, then we can't roll. Like, sorry, no bad feelings, but we can't just roll. You feel me? So also, check yourself. Is there people around you that make you feel like everything you do is a mistake or a failure, even when to you you're succeeding? And I told you, success is being better than you were yesterday. Maybe you're with someone that is maybe you're with a girl that expects you to buy her a Bentley for her birthday, but last year you didn't even have an apartment to live in, and this year you have a one-bedroom apartment to stay in. But then to her, you're a failure. But to yourself, you're doing really good, because compared to where you were last year, you're good. Like, that means you're not compatible. That means she has some other beliefs or mentality on how a boyfriend is meant to be. Just don't be scared of losing those kind of people, because they're going to lead you into negative emotions and overthinking about yourself and not trusting yourself, losing confidence, depression, anxiety, name it. Negative emotions when you're with someone who doesn't see your success as success and sees your success as failure, because maybe it's not on their level or not on the level they want it to be, and other reasons. But you get the whole vibe, you get the gist of what I'm saying. Be with people who actually I'm not saying be with someone that's on your level, but a successful person who has a villa won't call someone who moved into his apartment newly a failure. You feel me? Like, you have friends that probably doing better than you, and friends that you're doing better than. You're not gonna call your friends that you're doing better than failures. Like, you're not gonna do that, and people that are doing better than you are not gonna call you a failure, because failure and success too is based on your own personal perspective. You feel me? Like, someone that has more than you understands what it takes. You feel me? And you understand what it takes to be down there. As long as that person didn't give up and that person isn't finalizing that, that's where I want to be in life, like, that person is still growing, that you can't call them a failure. You can't say that person failed. You can't say you're a failure if you're still going. The moment you stop doing something, the moment you stop trying to be a better person, stop trying to have a better career, that's when you're failed. If you don't stop, no one has the power, no one should have the balls to even call you a failure at all. And some people might do, because they don't even know you, they don't even know who you are, they don't even know where you came from, So it shouldn't even affect you one bit when other people that don't even know you say stuff about you. You feel me? Because you know where you're coming from. People, your close friends, your best friends know where you're coming from. Your family knows where you're coming from. To them, you're not a failure, you're a success. So listen to the right people, listen to yourself. Don't listen to people who don't know you, because it doesn't matter, So yeah, I think that's the whole gist on failure that I can give for now. I felt like I covered important things. Obviously, I can't cover everything. I'm not a dictionary of failure, I'm not Wikipedia. But yeah, thank you for listening. Follow Get Exposed by Odia everywhere and anywhere you want to. TikTok, Instagram. Watch the video on YouTube if you're listening to this, please. Just so you can, see my face and I can be in your head. I'm joking, but yeah, you can catch it on YouTube if you're a YouTube person. It's a podcast, you can listen to it on the go, whatever you're doing. It's basically like music, you don't need to give me 100% of your attention. 80% is fine, I used to get the message. Because most of the time, I'm like downing down on what I said before, just so you get it. So yeah, it's a chill space, a live podcast, because when I'm doing something else, even when I'm gaming, when I'm working, I can be listening to it. Like I said, it's like music. Anything you can do while doing music, you can do while listening to a podcast. Thank you for listening to the podcast every episode. We have reached 200 plays in general. To me, that's insane. That's like 200 people have listened to me talk for an hour. Like, yo. Well, yeah, thank you. I'll catch you next week. Hopefully, I have a guest on the show next week. I couldn't have one this week due to technical reasons. And also, 1st of December, the first magazine for the podcast is coming out. I'll give you details more on social media. This tells you should follow me on social media. Follow my personal or follow the podcast social media. All the links are in the bio. Or if you're listening to this on your podcast platform, is in the show notes. And bless up. I hope you convert all your failures to success. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 ya manina. Oh yeah, belele, bella ciao, bella ciao.